Today, we are going to break down a really fascinating idea that gets right to the heart of wealth, status, and what we're all actually looking for. It's called the Ferrari paradox. Just think about that for a second. We've all done it, right? You hear that engine roar, you see that flash of red, and boom, for a split second, you're picturing yourself behind the wheel. The actual person driving, honestly, they've completely vanished. And right there, in that little daydream, is the key to a huge psychological trap that so many of us fall in. We buy these incredible, expensive things because we think they'll get us admiration, respect, you name it. But here's the crazy part. They often do the exact opposite. They make us invisible. And this lays it out perfectly. This is the core mistake we make. We assume people see our car, our watch, and think, wow, look at them. But what's really happening is they're seeing a mirror for their own desires. They don't admire you. They use your status symbol as a prop in their own fantasy. So in your quest for attention, you've accidentally erased the one thing you wanted people to see, you. So here's the bottom line. When you just consume and show off, you're not really adding any value to anyone else's life. The best you can hope for really is to make them a little bit envious. But if you want genuine respect, the kind that lasts, that comes from creating, from providing value to other people. And this isn't just about feelings. It has massive financial implications. Let's see.
Yeah. See, chasing the appearance of wealth, it isn't just a psychological oopsie. It has a very real, very tangible cost. You're basically making a trade, and all too often, you're sacrificing your actual financial freedom.
And this, right here, highlights a fundamental misunderstanding of what wealth even is. Looking rich, that's all about spending money on liabilities, things that lose value the second you buy them. But being rich, well, that's about owning assets, things that actually generate income for you, even when you're asleep. Okay, so let's make this concrete. When you see that monthly payment for a fancy car or a designer watch, what is it really costing you? It's not just the number on the bill. No, it's the opportunity you're throwing away. Let's just put a number on it, $12,000. Now, that might sound like a down payment on a luxury car, sure, but it's so much more than that. This number, it represents a very specific kind of financial power. If you take that same 12 grand and invest it, say, in something like an S&P 500 index fund, it can actually generate about $100 every single month, passively. That's a little stream of freedom. That's your money finally working for you. So think about it this way. Every time you make a big luxury payment, you're not just buying an object. You are actively taking one of these little money-generating machines and smashing it to pieces, a machine that could have been building your freedom for years and years. But hold on, let's pivot for a second here, because the truly wealthy, they often operate in a completely different way. They're not the ones with the flashiest toys. They're the people you might walk right past on the street without even a second glance. So if chasing status is a trap, what's the alternative? Well, it's a simple concept called true utility. And this is the real path to building not just wealth, but that genuine respect we were talking about. And it's really simple, actually. Utility is all about function over form. It just means shifting your focus from how will this make me look to what value does this actually create. It's all about what something does for you or for others, not what it signals about you. And building your life this way is kind of like climbing a staircase. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme. You start by learning a skill that people actually need. Then you use that skill to provide value. And eventually, you build systems, a business, an investment portfolio that can create that value at a much bigger scale. True wealth is so often invisible. Think about Bill Gates in the early days. He wasn't trying to look rich. He was completely obsessed with making a product that was useful, a tool that worked. The wealth came later. Or just picture that portfolio, 350 grand in an index fund, quietly generating $600 a week. That, my friends, is real freedom, not just flash. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful idea. If you want to earn admiration that actually lasts, you've got to shift your entire mindset from just consumption to creation. This is the emotional core of the whole paradox. When you lead with your possessions, you're basically hiding who you really are. You're asking people to like your things instead of liking you. Genuine connection, that comes from what you do, what you create, and how you help people. And here it is. This is the ultimate takeaway. Anyone can sit in a fancy car that somebody else built, but the real respect, the real legacy, that goes to the person who created the infrastructure, the business, the product, the road that allows other people to move forward. So, to sum it all up, it's backwards. You can't buy your way to respect. It's just a byproduct. When you focus all your energy on creating genuine value for others, the status you were chasing in the first place, it often just follows naturally. And that leaves us with a question to really think about. Look at your own life. What expensive habit or future purchase is really just about signaling status? And what could you build if you took that same energy, that same capital, and redirected it toward creating real utility and true freedom? It's something to think about.